when it first came out, I didn't believe it was real. And I'm like, this is too weird. It's this 1-2 punch, just super strange. Tony Katz today. Great to be with you. Find everything over at tonykatz.com. Subscribe to the podcast wherever it is you get your podcasts. Just a search for Tony Katz today and subscribe. Also, live streaming from time to time. Plenty of videos out there on YouTube. Just look for Tony Katz. We're actually streaming right now. If you're on X, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, that's where we went to right now. Just decided to let's do it up. It's good to see you. It's this weird. It's two weird stories. I thought both were fake when I heard them. The first is that in the United Kingdom, the Labour Party, the left-leaning party, is sending people to the United States, to North Carolina, to campaign for Kamala Harris. I asked point blank, is this real? There's a Sophia Patel. I'm sorry, I'm not as familiar with British politics as maybe I should be. Sophia Patel is the head of operations for the Labour Party. And she put out, I think this is on LinkedIn, I have nearly 100 Labour Party staff, current and former, going to the U.S. in the next few weeks, heading to North Carolina, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. I have 10 spots available for anyone to head to the battleground state of North Carolina. We will sort your housing. Email me, and she puts her email address. If you're interested, thanks. Now, I don't claim to be an expert on election interference, but maybe we've got a question that could be asked here. You're coming from foreign soil. I mean, we already kicked your ass once. You're coming from foreign soil, and you're going to do what? Knock on doors for Kamala Harris? Why would the Labour Party want to be in this position? Now, remember, the conservatives, the Tories, they got absolutely annihilated in the last election. Rishi Sunak and that whole team, out. It went from Boris Johnson to Liz Truss, who tried to make a change, and it got hit back so hard. She's like, all right, 46 days or whatever it is, that's enough by me. I actually like her. I do like her. I do follow her. I'd love to get her on the show. And then to Rishi Sunak. And now in the hands of Labor, in the hands of these left-leaners. She's okay with this? The Prime Minister, Starmer, is fine with this happening? That seems nutty. And by the way, what money? And also, all politics being local, if you were told that your member of Congress wasn't going to be working in Congress, but rather they were jetting off to name the nation to campaign for somebody, wouldn't you rightfully be infuriated? You're supposed to be here doing the work I need you to do, not over there working for somebody, with all due respect, I don't even know who they are, which is the vast majority of Americans, by the way, and that doesn't make them low information voters. Do you know who every MP is in the UK? Of course not. We have people who don't know who every member of Congress is in the United States. I do this for a living, and every now and then I'll be watching C-SPAN, and I'll be like, wait, who is that? 435 members of Congress. You might not have them all in the Rolodex. But this is nuts. Absolutely nutty. That was the first one. I can almost believe it. I can almost believe that there are people out there in other nations so desperate to try and keep Trump out of office. As far as I'm concerned, it's a great message for Trump. Even Liz Truss, the former prime minister, is like, okay, Trump's going to win now, because that's exactly what it is. People from the UK are going to come and campaign for Kamala Harris. Okay. Votes for Trump all around. That's number one. The second one, I saw the video and I said, this is AI generated nonsense. This is nonsense. It was this conversation between Barack Obama and Joe Biden, and they're speaking in like I don't know if it's an office building, turns out it was a church, and they're kind of like in the hushed tones, and like the finger on the nose and over the hand, they're over the mouth, they're talking like this and pointing like that and looking like this and shrugging their shoulders, and it's a whole thing. I'm like, what is going on here? Here's the story. This was Ethel Kennedy's funeral. Ethel Kennedy, the mother of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., passing away at the age, I think, was it 92, 96, whatever the case may be. I'm not a Kennedy expert, and I did not keep up with it. Wish the family well. They are at this funeral, and they're having a conversation. Now, we should be clear that they never liked each other, did Joe Biden and Barack Obama. They never, ever, ever liked each other. And certainly Barack Obama moved heaven and earth to get Joe Biden out of the race. Joe Biden clearly is still upset by it. By the way, we should, there's another one, Nancy Pelosi. Don't forget her in this. Nancy Pelosi has not spoken to Joe Biden since she moved him out, since she cut off his head. Of course he's bothered. Allegedly, they have a conversation. The conversation seems to state that Joe Biden is saying to Barack Obama, she's not as strong as me. To which Barack Obama replies, that's true. These two having a conversation at Ethel Kennedy's funeral were discussing the fact that Kamala Harris isn't a strong candidate. I'm telling you, I looked at this, I watched this, and I said, I was convinced this was AI. There is no way this is going on. This conversation happened. Let me put this into a context as I see it. You tell me whether you agree or disagree. As a matter of, oh my gosh, talk about having no faith whatsoever. This is Chris Christie giving Barack Obama the hug after Superstorm Sandy. If you don't remember Superstorm Sandy, it was this confluence of events. It was a storm right before the election, Obama versus Romney, and it destroyed coastal parts of New Jersey, places near where I grew up. So I grew up in a town called Middletown, New Jersey. When I proposed to my wife, I was in Bradley Beach, New Jersey, where that all took place. Got wiped clean, washed away. Is what happened. Whole homes just moved off their foundations. It was stunning and frightening. And Superstorm Sandy was nuts. And there comes Barack Obama, and there's Chris Christie, the then governor, and greets him with a hug. Why are you hugging him? Why are you hugging him? Certainly it was a disaster for Chris Christie, but certainly it played into that election. Like this moment of, well, if you're going to embrace the Democrat, right there, it was that. You have the current president who got pushed out, the former president who pushed you out, now having basically a sit down at this funeral. I gotta wonder whether or not the music was playing in the background for from The Godfather, and they're saying to themselves, well, this didn't work. This plan didn't work. This is crazy. Now, according to the story, Obama said, I think it's important that we can have some time together. We'll take it at value. And Biden saying, yeah, we'll get there in time. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. I do know that if you are a team Kamala Harris, this is absolutely devastating. If you are team Kamala Harris, maybe not from a perspective of the voter, but from a perspective of inside, this is brutal. No faith. If you ever wondered whether Team Biden hated Team Harris, you don't have to question that anymore like it was ever a question before. Of course they did. Of course they wanted the absolute worst for Kamala Harris. Sure, they kind of want her to win because they really don't like Trump. But if she loses, they want to go, told you. Should have stuck with Joe Biden. Joe Biden would be doing better than Kamala Harris. All right, maybe not. It would be equal. It'd be equally bad. It'd be equally as bad, right? Right? Stunning. I swear to you, I didn't think it was real. I was like, this is impossible to believe. So what do they do now? What's the plan now? What's the theory now? You now have the current president and the former president who's really running the party saying, yep, weak, yep, there doesn't seem to be a future. Yeah, this is a problem. What do you do? And maybe a better question, right? They're going to win, they're going to lose. We've got 19 days to the election, and so be it. Here's the question for the Democratic Party. It is obvious to all of us, longtime observers, new observers, people who are new to politics as a whole. It is quite obvious to all of us that Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi run this party, right? I don't think I'm speaking out of school when I say that. It is obvious that this party is not run by Joe Biden. It's obvious that Joe Biden will not have or has not had any real power in making decisions for the party. That's been Barack Obama and, yes, Nancy Pelosi. If this move fails, this Kamala Harris move, can I ask who runs the party now? No one discusses the fact that Trump has a full lock on the Republican Party. Oh, sure, they discuss that, but they don't discuss what that means for the next 20 years. And they should, because I think it means a whole bunch. Who runs the Democratic Party now? Barack Obama has controlled that party since he won in 2008. It's 2024, and all empires fall. Who runs it now? Because you picked one heck of a play, getting Biden out and putting Kamala Harris in. If she don't win, head coaches get fired. I don't think there's any question that they're going to be looking for a new leader, if they have one. I'm Tony Katz. This is Tony Katz Today. Guys, I wasn't expected to do this stream. I appreciate you being here. Make sure you subscribe, check out the videos, and leave comments and do all sorts of stuff. And I do check them. I don't get to every comment because some people are just nasty as all hell. But I do get to the comments. This is a foil, by the way. Come on, do it. Autofocus. This is a foil, Foyle. Not a well-known a brand, but a nice little stick, an easy cigar to smoke. There's going to be some bigger cigars a little bit later for sure. Don't forget to find everything I do at TonyKatz.com. And if you've never listened to the Eat, Drink, Smoke podcast, my cigar and bourbon show, which is heard on weekends across the country, EatDrinkSmokeShow.com. Be sure to check that out as well. Let me see if there are any questions. I answered the question of what the cigar of the day is. I was happy to do that. That's a foil, Foyle. Who's paying England's Labour Party to send these folks? That's the question. That is the question. That's a great question. If I was going to be somebody looking into this, the first thing I would ask is, how much money came from George Soros? Just pull the pin, throw the grenade. First question I would ask, how much came from George Soros? Then we've got this from Mitchell. Barry, meaning Barack Obama, can't get over the fact that he had to save Kamala's attorney general race in California, but won't be able to save this one. I don't recall that. Wait, hold on. Walk me through it. What did Barack Obama do in the AG race? I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying I don't recall that in any way, shape, or form. But it's totally possible. I'm thrilled everybody's here. I wasn't really planning on doing the stream today, but I'll start doing it more often. I'm happy to. I'm overjoyed to do that right there. We've got much more show to get to. I gotta get back to it, guys. I appreciate it so very much. I will catch you next time. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to do that, and right there on the X, you can do that. You can email or you can visit TonyKatz.com, and of course on YouTube. Be sure to do that as well. Appreciate you guys. Catch you later.